Your heart, keep it in your pocket.
All right, y'all, so we're back. Hopefully this battery will last a little while. I forgot where we left off, but so yeah, that's what got me to want to just do a video where I just be open and honest and just be real, because I feel like a lot of people don't be real no more, and I know I'm gonna be real regardless if you like it, you don't like it. I just can't be any other way. But I also pull myself back and I don't show my full self to everyone. So here I am, just open and honest as I can possibly be about everything. So how did I get started? I will just say this: even when you are not on your journey, you are still on your journey. You just may not know that you're on your journey, first and foremost. Secondly, when you start to realize it, there's going to be times that you go in and out of a realization that something's wrong, something's not right, something is off-putting, and you're searching for what that is, but you have no direction to actually go while you're searching. And as I said, that 1 2 3 which eventually I will start to get into, like angel numbers, synchronicity and stuff of that nature, but that's for a different video, not today. So I'll never forget the date. And if you read what is his name, I got his book, God, Wayne Dyer is his name. And there's something that I read in his book that really captivated me in order to be able to kind of appreciate him as an author. He said that there was a particular day and a particular time that he woke up and he just knew that his life would be different from that. And that's the same thing that happened for me. But I can recall the things that I did leading up to it. So I remember, like, it had been years of being broke, not having money, not, you know, just not being able to do the simplest things, like pick and choose what meal you wanted or where you wanted to go to eat, or even being able to eat out, even if it was like a fast food restaurant. So that is the place that I was coming from, and realizing that, hey, it's a Wednesday. I am married, doing what I feel is the right thing to do with the kids, homeschooling, all of these things, right? And it's a Wednesday. I got paid. I was due to get paid on Friday, but due to direct deposit, I got paid early. So I was paid on Wednesday. Everybody else was paid on Friday, right? But here it is, Friday, and I'm broke. I have no money. So I'm getting off, and it's like, I don't have no money, and my bills are still past due, right? So I get off. When I clocked out, I was just sitting there at my desk like, I don't want to get off. I don't want to go home, which, mind you, I work from home. So I was working from home. So I was sitting there and I'm like, I don't want to go home. Realistically, my home is, when I turn around, I'm at home. And I just got up slowly and I made my way to my bed, which was something very common for me. I would always go to sleep, and I found myself sleeping and sleeping and sleeping. It was just like, no matter how much I slept, there was never enough sleep for me, you know? And as I got ready to go to bed to just go to sleep, mind you, I'm getting off at like, I don't know, during that time, I think it was like maybe 5, 6 o'clock, maybe about 6 o'clock, somewhere in that, I don't know. Maybe 6, 7, I don't know for sure, but it's one of the 3 times. And I'm just like, I'm gonna just go to sleep. And then my spouse at the time, which is now my ex, was was there and just looking at me, and I'm just like, oh my God, why are you here? Like, why are you here? What are you doing to relieve the stress and the strain of this situation? And I just, instead of getting mad and having an argument, I was just saying, and that was for all things, all people, no matter who it was at that time. Anything, and I wasn't praying to God, because at that point I was just tired of reaching out to God, because there was nothing happening. I'm like, oh God, please, God this and God that. And I'm like, I'm doing well, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And it's just like things keep piling up, and they were piling up and piling up and piling up. And it's just like, okay, I'm doing what I'm supposed to. I'm being the best mother that I know how to be. You know, I'm trying to do everything that's right. And didn't want to do anything wrong, because I just felt like if you do wrong, then bad things happen. But here I am doing all that I can do that's right. But all these bad things just keep piling on top of me, right? So I just go, sorry, my son's upstairs. So I just go, you know, anything that is not for me, that is not for the greater good of me, please remove it out of my life. And he goes, what are you saying? And I'm like, I said anything or anyone. I don't know if I just said that, but it's a long time ago. I'm trying to kind of remember this. So I say that. And this was March 8th, 2019. And I'm just like, I just want anything that is not for the greater good of me to be removed out of my life. And he's like, well, it sounds like you're talking about me. And I'm like, well, if that includes you, if you feel like that includes you, then yeah, I want that to be removed out of my life as well. In the midst of me saying this, I really wasn't thinking about him. I wasn't thinking about anybody in particular at all. I just know that there was something off. It had been off, and it had been off for a very long time. And it was off prior to him, but it seems like, and you'll start to realize along your journey, you keep picking up the same puzzle pieces, and they're just not fitting into the equation, because these pieces don't belong to this puzzle, so to speak. So I go to sleep. I lay my head on the pillow. Literally, I would fall asleep. By the time my head hit the pillow, I would be asleep. And I still do that to this day. Like, I can go to sleep like that, but that's only because of a situation that happened to me when my grandmother passed and I had not had any sleep. So I learned to, when my head hit the pillow, when it's sleep time, it's night and night. I'm not going to be sitting here tussling and going back and forth. I'm going to actually go to sleep, you know? Sleep is important. So I lay my head down, right? And I'm asleep. And then I wake up at 5:04 or 5:04 or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. So I wake up and I'm just like, get out, leave. Now, mind you, my bills are months past due. The only way I would be able to pull myself out of this is by having 2 working adults in my household. And here I am already struggling, and I'm asking the adult that's currently there to leave. Had he done anything in particular that moment? No. Leading up to it, when I look back on things, there have been a lot of things going on that I saw happening, but I just, when you're trying to just keep your head above water, you don't care about what those things are, because it's more important to survive. And that's where I was in survival mode. And he's like, what did I do? I didn't do anything. And I'm just like, just it's not working out. It hasn't been working out. I mean, it hadn't been working out for years, but I hung on. So ladies, when I tell you, or even men as well, like, I understand holding on to something so tight when you know that if you just let go, it'll be okay. It'll be better. It may not be the best, but it'll be better than it was while you were hanging on. It's like, I literally felt like I was hanging on to the back of a car on the bumper and just being drugged. That is what that marriage was for me. It was just like I was just being drugged, but yet here I am hanging on as this car is going as fast as it possibly can, and it's just ripping skin off because I'm hitting the gravel and all kind of things. That's what I felt like. And that particular day, no, wait, I said that on March 8th. When I woke up, it was March 9th at 5:04 in the morning. And I was just like, I'm letting go. I stopped making erratic decisions to continue to hang on to something that was already dragging me under, and just decided to let go, to not hang on, to not partake it. Whatever happened from that point, I didn't even care. If I lost my house, I didn't care. I didn't care at all. If my kids were gonna be mad at me, I didn't care. I didn't care about nobody but me and my peace. All I knew is I wanted to be at peace, and I know that part of the puzzle was not bringing me peace, so I wanted to let it go. So when I talk about relationships, understand that I have been drugged through the mud when it comes to relationships. I probably can understand all things in a relationship better than most that are currently going through it. I will say that, because that was over a decade of agony. But so that happened, right? And then there was, and I won't go deep into that. I'm just giving you the outline, because I don't want to kind of bash somebody and say, oh, because they're not able to defend themselves. This is just my truth of what I experienced and how I experienced it, right? And that's not to say that I'm trying to justify anybody's actions, but you know, everybody got their own story. Everybody feel the way they want to feel. I'm just telling you how I felt in my moment of what I'm going through. And I'm pretty sure somebody else out there may feel the same way. I just chose to put myself on Front Street. So, after I did that, right, I noticed that something was missing. And that something that was missing led me to Pandora's Box. And everybody knows when you open Pandora's Box, you just got to be ready for whatever comes. When I opened that box, I was able to see that person for what they truly were. They were truly revealed to me. And if y'all want a story time on exactly what happened, leave a comment down below and I will make sure that it happens. Because it's definitely it is made for a Lifetime movie with the way that the events happened on that particular day. Okay, so let's fast forward. Now that has happened to me. Of course, I'm going through the motions of, you know, I don't know how anyone else may feel, but I know for me it felt like it was a death in my family when that happened. Although I propelled this situation to actually take its course, it still does not take away from how you feel, right? So what does any person do? You know, you devoted Christians out there, you know what you do. You reach out to mom or dad. In my case, it was me reaching out to my mother, right? So I don't want to put my toes in y'all face, but Maybe I should just do it like this. Let's do it like this. So, I reach out to my mom. And I hadn't talked to my mom for a while. And that's a long story. So, if you want to hear that story, I will be more than happy to talk to you about that. Because again, I do understand that in my situation, people have gone through it. So when I say I've been through some bullshit, I've been through some bullshit. But I got through it. I'm on the other side of that. And that's what I hope to be able to help other people with as well. So, what was I saying? Oh, so I called my mom. First I called my sister, and she's like basically chastising me and saying you should have called and da 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 da. But her knowing good and well why I wasn't calling, and the fact that she agreed to the reasons why I didn't call, but she was willing to say keep hanging on to the bumper of the car, and just, I'm like, I'm not gonna keep hanging on to no bumper of no car, especially not when it comes to people that are supposed to love me unconditional. And I feel like your mother and father should love you unconditional. Like, my kids may do a lot of things, but I still love them. And if they go through something, or if they're reaching out to me and letting me know, I'm not going to just thrust you to the side. Now, I may chastise you if you're wrong, but I'm not going to throw them to the side and tell them to figure it out on their own. First of all, well, I can't say they brought me into this world, because we actually asked to be here. So for those of you out there saying, I ain't asked to be here, the kids, and well, yeah, kind of you did. You know what I'm saying? But another conversation for another day. We just sticking to this topic. It is so hard to stick to one thing, because I can go on a tangent and actually talk about so much other things. But I want to do that in due time, only because my sole purpose of this is to open up to you all and tell you who I am as a person, so that you know that all that I say is genuine. It's not coming from a place of, well, I think. It's coming from a place of, I know. You know what I'm saying? So I called my mom. And I'm like, oh my God, this just happened. So basically, he got caught cheating. But I guess he would say that it's not cheating. But the phone records of my personal phone that he took from me showed otherwise. So it had been going on for a really long time. So I'm like, oh my God. I shouldn't be laughing at this. I should not be laughing. But that's how I was. I was like, oh my God, he's cheating on me. I don't know what to do. See, I don't really stick around long enough for people to do stuff like that. It's like, oh, you did that. All right, I'm out. You know? But here I am, staying married, trying to be faithful, all these things. And you got me sitting here looking like a dummy. Because I'm broke as hell. First of all, a Libra don't like to be broke. Nothing. You understand? We like nice things all the time. And I ain't got nice things. And I'm broke. It's like, can you give me one or the other? I'll make it do and make it work. If I got one or the other. If I got money, then I can get the nice things. If I got nice things, I can figure out how to get the money. But I ain't have neither. So all those DIY videos, they gonna stay up. I'm gonna leave them right on up, because honey, when I say I have learned things along the way, I've learned how to do things and make things do what it do, because I like nice stuff. And I'm gonna get that nice stuff no matter if I gotta get down and dirty and make it look the way that the stuff that I seen that I can't afford look. So I call my mom, and my mom is like, yeah, and she got major attitude, like totally. Even if you was mad, you would think that you'd be like, my kid is hurting And my mom know I'm not a crier. I ain't a crier at all. Like, I'm a big girl. I can pull, you know, pull my own weight through many things. But this thing broke me. When I say it broke me, right? And I don't know if it broke me because of the cheating. It broke me because I had devoted so much time. Or was it the money aspect of things? Or was it because I just lost a piece of me? It was just like I was broken, you know, like broken. Like, I ain't got nothing else, you know. The only thing that kept me tethered to this world was my children, you know. And now I gotta, through all of this, figure out how to take care of them and everything and still go through the motions. So eventually it seemed like my mom started to come around. And she started to talk to me, and you know how moms do. They're like, you know, girl, pull yourself together. This ain't the end of life. You still got years in front of you than what you got behind you. So you'll make it through. Everybody's been through this. Like, give me a little pep talk, right? And I'm like, okay, I can do this, okay. And she sent me some money. And I was so appreciative of it. And I was like, thank you. When I get money, I'm going to send it back to you. And she was like, don't worry, just get yourself together. So she ended up coming here, right? And my sister came. Now, me and my sister, for some reason, have always had this thing where it felt like we were in competition, but I wasn't competing with her, but it felt like she was always competing with me, which I never understood why, because I ain't have shit for you to compete with in the first place. So it's like, what you competing with? So she came, and as usual, she was on her stuff about competing with me. So I was just like, girl, whatever. Like, I'm just glad my mama here so she can, you know, mend me back together and get my mind right? So my mom, it was a peaceful visit. My mom left my younger sister, because I'm the oldest of all the kids, but she left my youngest sister here. And I told her, because at the time, let me tell y'all how broke I was. I had a vehicle that a tree fell on that we were driving around, right? Windows bust out and all. Still driving around. Big old dent in the top of it and everything. I had that vehicle. So obviously I wouldn't be able to take her back home in that vehicle. And I was telling her, you know, when I get my income tax, then I'll be able to, dang! Then I'll be able to take her back home. But I'm finna run out of storage. So I'll be able to, what is this? Hold on. Hold on.
Force it